Hey, I changed my mic settings. Am I too loud or is it good?
I think it's really good, Joe. But I'm older, so maybe my hearing isn't the greatest.
So
Yep.
I should shout a little louder is what you're saying?
Since I have earphones, then you're welcome to. So, but I'll just dial down the sound a little bit.
All right, yeah,
But no,
no, loud and
really
clear.
good, man.
I hear you good, Joe. You're good to go, brother. So, all right, we're gonna get
Thank you.
started. All right, you got it.
Yo, Blame, you mad it?
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking it. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking it. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Sticking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the farm, feeling like the gold. Don't worry about the haters, got the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking it. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking it. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. This is our daily live AMA and Detonator rollover event. My name is AJ, I'm the team lead here, and I'm joined by my co-host with the most, Bull Gates. Bull, how are you today, brother?
Really good, man. How are you doing?
Good, man, good. We had a lot of awesome announcements. Yesterday, we've been busy as hell trying to wrap up some loose ends. For those of you that don't know, we had some major alpha released on the AMA yesterday. We purposely have kind of kept it a little bit hush-hush, meaning not an official Telegram or Discord post, because we want those of you that are active and on these AMAs to have the info first. But what it is that we're launching a detonator style contract called the Reactor that will be essentially a detonator clone, but some of the LPs and percentages will be different. It will be an 𝘰𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘯𝘵 LP. And the reason that we do this is there's many factors that we went over a ton in the AMA yesterday, but the overall gist is by doing this and supporting the liquidity and eventually the price of eShare through another way to earn and use case, it boosts the APRs in all of our farms, as well as completing the other side of the infinite money loop by being able to earn 𝘰𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘯𝘵 and EMP ETH LP, both in the farms and then now in the respective ROI contracts. So today's AMA will be really just another session of questions. We've had a lot of questions over the last few hours, last 24 hours. And again, we're really trying to push engagement here on YouTube as well. So before we get started, I want to say, please, everybody, like, comment, and subscribe. We are now monetized on YouTube, so that will be another revenue stream into our ecosystem. And there's a ton of awesome videos that are not even necessarily related to EMP. A lot of great crypto knowledge. If you go back through and watch some old videos, that will help get our engagement up. And go leave a comment on yesterday's video as well if you haven't already. So that being said, we're gonna get started. Bull, I know you and I have been busy, as well as the army. We had a very productive chat last night. We are implementing some things based on feedback. We are also finalizing the rollout. So I had mentioned yesterday that we were shooting for Friday as a rollout for this new Reactor contract. It may be Saturday now. So again, we're not going to be in a situation with the UI where we are delayed by weeks. We're only probably going to be delayed by maybe 24 hours or 48 hours. But in the next day or two, I'll have a guaranteed countdown that we can all plan on and be available for when we launch. And so the reason, again, we're delayed just a little bit is we're finalizing the branding. Again, all of the Detonator style contracts will have their own branding and name associated. Different. We don't want to have, Detonator 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be really confusing. So we're naming
And lame.
and lame.
And lame.
Yeah, and lame bull. So yeah, we're rebranding all the additional contracts, and again, we do have plans on offering Detonator as a software as a service for other protocols. And again, with that package, they would get their own branding and their own LP that would transact in to help their protocol. But then we would also get a percentage of fees. And then speaking of percentages, we did say that we were thinking about getting rid of the referral fees in Reactor. And so I think we have an awesome idea for that, where it's actually going to be even more beneficial to those of you that are content creators and are interested in getting referrals for helping us grow the ecosystem while still benefiting the treasury. So we'll release more info on that. It will essentially be a trusted pool of influencers that at least understand the ecosystem on a very high level. Again, you don't have to be an expert. We're not going to make you, go through an entire quiz or test. But if you are an influencer and want to earn referral rewards, we have a much better way of doing it that will not drain the system. So that's exciting. We finalized that last night. And Bull, we also have a really exciting incentive for to help support PEG and EMP as we roll out Reactor. I know yesterday there was some concern that people would dump EMP to be able to get eShare, and again, those of you that have been around, it's the worst thing you can do, and we'll get into why here in a minute. But with that, we're going to roll out a little bit of an incentive for new node purchases around EMP. It must be fresh capital. You can submit your transaction, and then you actually will be able to get early access to Reactor. So, Bull, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So, as always, right, we're always kind of looking for ways to support the people that support the ecosystem, because ultimately, that's how the system grows, by, rewarding positive action. There's no real penalty for penalizing or spanking the people that do negative actions here, but trying to promote, the positive, the helpfulness, the understanding, and that this is just another mechanism. And as we've said for months and months and months that, to get into, for instance, army, it's not just about like the size of your bags, and maybe it's not even about the size of your bags or like your habits inside your wallet. It's maybe the ways that you act in the community. The same goes for VIP, and the same goes here, right? We want to look at like, how are you here, for kind of the long term to help build the ecosystem, and how do we reward that? Well, there's a multi-tiered layout plan here, and I think that's where maybe where we had said this is going to roll out on Friday. We looked at it and said, well, what are some other options to reward people for supporting the ecosystem? Well, when a contract like this rolls out, it's really beneficial for the people that are in early, because there's a massive influx of capital, and you can really reap those instant rewards, if you will. And so the kind of the community perspective was, well, we want to tailor this rollout to really boost engagement from like influencers, but really most importantly as another mechanism to help like support the ecosystem. And where I said yesterday, I've always wanted something on the opposite side of the ecosystem where initially now this will sound kind of strange, I'm very obsessive about how things are, and the way that the farm page used to be laid out, like very early on, was 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘃 on the left hand side of the page, and EMP ETH, and Detonator was on that left side. And AJ would always talk about EMP ETH LP, and I would say, well, I just I'm obsessive, and why is the 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘃 on that side of the page? And I know it sounds silly, but coming from a perspective of like web critiquing for years and years, it really matters how things are laid out, if they're laid out in a functional order. But I'm getting off topic here. So when I messaged that to AJ, like the next day it got changed, and the EMP ETH LP was on the left hand side of the page, and that was just a matter of order that I really liked. But when I saw like 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘃 sitting over there by its lonesome, not having its own engine to drive basically value through the system and protect it, like like the Detonator has really done for the ecosystem. It's brought people here. It's brought minnows to whales to influencers to somebody who just came by themselves. And so the great thing about like Reactor is we have the ability as an ecosystem to launch it right in an upgraded format. And when we see that this is another way to another way to earn in the system, where we've had multiple ways, and a lot of it revolved around making EMP ETH LP. Here now it's going to revolve around the ability for you to develop new strategies, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of new strategies being developed off of the Reactor, and then the LP that people will claim, and a 5-2 or a 6-1 strategy, and how that works in the farm. And I think we're going to see some amazing kind of strategies come forth, just like they did with the Detonator, in terms of best ways to snipe tickets, optimal strategies for trying to win the random. And so when we look at the Reactor, we can see all of these things that have happened in the past, but because 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘃 is a different part of the ecosystem where people have been able to take profit, and it doesn't hurt the ecosystem. Like if you were a person who was selling EMP, I'm not self shaming you, but it hurts the system, and it hurts you as an investor here as part of the ecosystem. So when we look at 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘃, there's going to be a multitude of strategies that will be, like I said, will be developed, because it is a healthy, responsible way to commit positive action within the ecosystem, really to help you grow. So I think we're just going to see, where the infinite money loop really existed on the Detonator EMP ETH LP, we're going to see the same thing be created on the 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘃 farm through the Reactor. And then as a systemic infinite money loop, I think we're going to see some real interaction between both the 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘃 farm and the EMP ETH, basically with an infinite loop there, and then the infinite loop also existing within the Detonator to the Reactor, and the systemic balance there, that and the opportunities that it gets to reward people for committing that positive action on the farm. However, let me get back to the launch. So as we've said before, the ways to reward people in this system have always been, through the way positive action, be it, how you ran your wallet, how you invested your social or human capital in the system. And, that put people in army, or it put people in VIP, and always chances to move up, to move down, sideways. The choices are yours here. And so there was, some community feedback and some ideas about like, what can we do to maybe help PEG, because there's going to be a lot of people that will be interested with, with the launch of the Reactor that maybe aren't in the ecosystem. And a lot of people are very interested in regaining PEG for reasons I probably don't need to go into, because everybody listening, I'm sure, isn't fairly well versed in the system. But the plan was, okay, well, we'll roll out in different stages of being able to be whitelisted and enter into the Reactor for those instant rewards, but it'll be based on Army, VIP, purchase of Kilo, and purchase of Nano. And there'll be set times that are going to be put forth here in a rollout paper. But we're just kind of tentatively still working on kind of the functional mechanics, because like anything in crypto, everything is dynamic, and we have to be able to scale to meet demand. And we have hours set aside, and we have the personnel to go through those wallet histories to make sure that people are using fresh funds to purchase these nodes so they can get in those whitelist spots. And with that, we don't know exactly what the demand is going to be. So we want to give ourselves enough buffer to make sure that we can do our due diligence and make sure that the people that submit their wallets are doing positive actions for the system and being rewarded for that. So hopefully I was clear. We'll see a tier like Army, VIP, Kilo, and Nano, and there will be a rollout paper that will, kind of break it down in more detail exactly how that will progress. But tentatively, that's all shooting for Saturday. But this is like I say, it's a work in progress, and there will be a white paper that will explain that more specifically.
Awesome.
How's that, AJ?
Yeah, great, Bull. So, yeah, again, I know we've thrown a lot of info at all of you over the last 24, 48 hours. Don't panic. Don't get that FOMO that we all are subject to. You'll have plenty of time to, prepare for the launch and be rewarded for helping the ecosystem. And so, not only are we trying to incentivize, fresh LP or EMP purchases through nodes, again, giving you an early access opportunity if you're not already in VIP, because again, we didn't have the time to do a full-on VIP recruitment again, so we thought this was a much better solution in the short term. And like Bill said, I mean, yes, there is a somewhat of an advantage of getting in early, because you'll get a lot more instant rewards from Reactor. And we really want, the quote-unquote good actors to be in early, which I mentioned yesterday. And you as an investor in the protocol will also want this, because it builds a concrete floor of people that are already familiar with how the detonator and Reactor contract works. It's a way to, again, make sure people are compounding more than claiming, because, the smart money knows that you ROI faster by compounding in the beginning. And so this will really help the pool balance explode. I mean, Detonator grew 80% a month. Month after month for the first 6 months, we could see the eShare BNB pool even outperform that. And so, and then there was also, there's two other things I want to mention. There was also this fear of people liquidating their EMP ETH LP and going into Reactor or eShare BNB because the rewards.
That's why it's named something different, right?
Exactly, Bull.
Instead of Detonator 1, Detonator 2.
Yep, you're hearing it first. So yeah, and again, I got so much going on in my head, so forgive me if I say something wrong. Please interrupt me. But yeah, my point is that the more people that leave the EMP ETH LP farms, or again try to claim from Detonator to go into Reactor, those then there's less dilution in that farm, and you could potentially even earn more keeping your EMP ETH LP. So again, the whole idea, and this is one of the major reasons why we wanted to have the other side of the coin. Like Bull said, we have a Detonator, and now the Reactor is the other side of this ecosystem, supporting the other LPs within the farms. And the reason that we want to do that is that we want to keep the liquidity and the financial capital in the ecosystem. So as long as money is staying in the EMP ecosystem, whether it's in Detonator, in the farms, in nodes, in Reactor, and people are able to earn on that capital, that will absolutely make our TVL explode and give everybody that's here, the most earning potential possible. What we don't want to have happen, and what kills projects, and what we've been really good at avoiding, is liquidity leaks or capital leaving the ecosystem, because people understand we are one of the industry leading DeFi protocols, period, in terms of risk reward and yield, especially with yield having exposure to actual Ethereum. And another bonus that I didn't mention in the AMA yesterday with Reactor is that the Reactor LPs will be in both eShare and BNB, and both of those assets can be sold without hurting the ecosystem at all. With Detonator and the EMP ETH LP, we always suggest not to sell EMP because that hurts PEG. But now, again, you have a lot more flexibility in the Reactor contract, and maybe you take some, profits out of Reactor and buy EMP, when we are below PEG. And that's the other thing. I mean, anybody buying EMP right now is essentially, getting a 14 or 15% increase just on the PEG recovery alone. So there's a lot of synergistic things that are happening. I know it's a lot to take in, but this is really exciting, and I think, based on all the math and the, scenarios that we've run, this is going to be a massive impact to all of us. So go ahead, Bull.
Yeah. Like you said it right. It's one of the great things about crypto, and especially in this ecosystem, is there are a ton of different strategies, a ton of different choices, and this is another one, and especially focused on the ability to use it where it doesn't impact the system negatively. Where I'm sure there are people that struggle with that feeling of, oh, I got all this EMP, what the heck do I do with it? And some people are going to hold on to it. Some people are going to sell it. Some people are going to put it into LP. And here, working on the other side of the farm, if you will, is we're going to be able to see, I think, some strategies that really, really revolve around this positive action. And you touched on it a little bit, that eShare then BNB that comes out of the LP, right? Or excuse me, out of the Reactor and LP. Being able to either put that in the eShare BNB farm to earn eShare, or the ability to break that, and then maybe you were a person that has too many nodes and too much EMP. Well, bam, you have higher earning potential on this other side of the farm, and of course, there is going to be some short-term volatility as people figure out some working strategies, and that's okay. And I would just have it preface or tell everybody that you should expect to see some of that, because with anything new, there's no precedent of how it's operated other than how that we've seen Detonator operate in the past, right? And one of the really big benefits of the fact that we're launching Reactor right now is that we've seen what a Detonator V2 has actually done for the ecosystem and interest in DeFi. But to be able to launch that right away and know, like, we have the track record of how Detonator version 1 performed from day one. Now, knowing that we have an incredibly educated community, I think a lot of people that are really interested in Reactor, because I have started seeing the influencers already start chatting about it in their channel. I know Savage has a video about it already.
Yes,
and there are a few. Yeah, the guy's on it, man. He's he's a DeFi hawk, just watching, always watching.
Totally.
And swooping in. But the point is that, because this is a new product, and not everybody knows exactly how Detonator rolled out in the history. And I think if we talk about it a little bit and the possibilities that exist on this side of the farm or this side of the ecosystem, to really create some massive positive like capital momentum in the ability to earn that eShare and the BNB, and then use that on, of course you can use it on what I'm going to call the right-handed side of the ecosystem, but being able to bring it back to the left-hand side of the ecosystem and putting it in EMP ETH LP, like I said, if you were a person that had a spare EMP from the nodes, or being able to put it in Detonator. But the real big benefit of that is you're able to take that high earning, non-system hurting profit from that side, and actually come over and bring it to the left hand side of the ecosystem and balance that out, and using that to support PEG. You can use that that eShare that you're going to be able to earn over there to buy EMP to support PEG. And people will be like, well, why would we do that? Well, being able to support PEG has historically every tomb fork, and especially this one, when we see PEG maintained for a length of time, we see just a dramatic increase in the price of eShare. So the ability to be able on that right-hand side of the ecosystem and earn that, especially as we see, price appreciation once PEG is recovered. And then people finding that balance of being able to maintain PEG and then still bring value from the other side and support one side where, it's just like a person that would work out. It's all about balance. You wouldn't want to have that one arm that had that humongous bicep and then a really tiny little arm on the other side, because everybody'd be like, they'd laugh at you behind your back and say, oh my gosh, that person's so out of whack, they're out of balance. But people can look at your wallet and see that, and nobody's really going to be able to say that, but really that's what's happening. And having that one big arm and that one small arm, you're all out of whack. You got to buy a weird shirt to be able to, make it fit properly. And so I would just encourage people to find that balance, especially with this incredible earning potential on the right-hand side of the ecosystem, and make sure you use it to balance up your left-hand side of the equation, because that's where the infinite money loop is really created and perpetuated, when people know how the system operates, and just kind of using that recycle system, if you will, that little simple diagram of, from trash to treasure, and just keep lather, rinse, repeating, and then, developing some type of a 6-1-5-2 strategy to put a little bit aside too. And I'm going to say this right away before eShare price starts escalating. When we see eShare price escalating, have some type of a strategy where you put a little bit, into a stable, so that in the event you need some, in the real, in to pay your rent or whatever, and never gamble with your rent money in crypto here. But the point is to have a little bit of dry powder. And we haven't mentioned that term in a long time, but using this incredibly profitable system on the right-hand side to make sure that you have the dry powder for those rainy days that we have here where we lose PEG. And because this is a new product, nobody knows exactly how it's going to work. I have a pretty strong idea, but I can't click buttons. I can't make people do things that I want them to do. And so if people know, how you support your own bags is by supporting the ecosystem and growing the ecosystem. And then making sure that, balance includes not just making, paper gains or gains on your screen, but making sure you have a little bit set aside so that, you are actually being able to profit from the system and being happy with it and being able to recommend people, because I don't want you to be that person where somebody says, well, how much do you make? And you're like, oh, I make $500 a day. But you don't want to be the person that's completely, you're making 500 one day and then 450 the next, and then 300 and then 100, and then it's down to $10. You've got to find that balance, but making sure that you put some aside for a rainy day. And I don't know like how popular that is with everybody, but I want to make sure that people understand that this is a long-term project for me. That is what I do. It's not a matter of, like I've never cashed out $1 in crypto. It's all about creating maintaining a future plan for me. And this is a very long-term project for me. And that is all about maintaining balance and finding some balance in the system that is going to be a little bit different for everybody. But because now that they've brought us the Reactor, we have the ability to create an incredible balance on both the left-hand side of the ecosystem and the right-hand side.
Absolutely, Bull, no doubt. And again, we talk about it on every single AMA, that everything we do is with sustainability in mind. So yeah, you may not get, a 1,000,000% APR like some of these other degen plays, but the percentages you are able to get, even between 0.5 and 1% daily, depending on the farm or the detonator or whatever, those to have that sort of a return and have the stability that we've been able to offer and will continue to be able to offer is just really unprecedented. So again, I could not be more bullish on what we're doing and what this means for the future. And again, just to reiterate, the EMP ETH LP, that is exposure to ETH. And it's a blue chip. So yeah, well, maybe, the APRs maybe be slightly higher in Reactor for the first few weeks, possibly. But you're going to be, if you're dumping EMP to get into Reactor, you're losing the exposure to ETH. Then PEG is going to recover. And then, again, this is not financial advice. I'm just speaking hypothetically. PEG would recover. And now you have to buy back your EMP at a higher price. And I can promise you there is no sadder feeling than having to liquidate an asset and buy it back at a higher price when you could have just easily held it the entire time and earned on it while holding it. So again, I think anybody swing trading EMP or selling EMP to get into a different position is going to be really sorry when they see how this all plays out. So, and I haven't even mentioned this, which again, I've said it in a few AMAs. There's going to be a major Easter egg here, so get ready. But we do have plans on some sort of a single staking protocol for EMP. I know I'm very against it when it comes to rewarding eShare, because we don't want to have a vampire farm in the farms. But we will absolutely have future use case for EMP. And those of you, that have a bunch of liquid EMP will reap the benefits of that when we're ready. So everything happens in time. Like Bill said, this is a long-term protocol. We're not here to swing trade, to jump in and out, to chase APRs. We're here to build a position together, support each other, and truly earn a passive income, with exposure to BNB and ETH and massive liquidity in the ecosystem. So, all right, I think that was enough of a recap for everybody. I would love to go into some questions. If anybody has some questions, feel free to let us know. Bull, you want to start? Yeah, it's easier if you read them to me. I'm all over the place.
Don has a voice question, so even
better. All right, Don, lay it on me, brother. How are you, man?
I'm good. Good. Yeah. And you?
I'm good, bro. I'm
You're always,
excited. Yeah, we're
yeah,
busy.
yeah.
I haven't slept in like 48 hours getting ready for all this, but we're gonna make it happen, man. So yeah, go ahead, bro.
Excellent.
AJ is like a nervous dad at the emergency room, or
I am.
at
Oh my
at the
God.
birthing, room. So
I
Yeah,
am,
for
Bull.
sure.
We had that conversation today. He's like, yeah, but I'm like, Bull, I'm a little stressed out, man. He's like, yeah, you always get like this around rollout. So yeah, but we're good, man.
That's because they're like, you got to roll out every couple of weeks, man. So,
That's true. We never quit. Yeah.
all right. So here's my question has to do with Reactor, and yesterday was the first information, but and based on you kind of filled in some holes to my questions, but I'm going to ask them anyway.
Yes, please.
So
Okay.
I got almost everything into Detonator, and I just keep rolling. Never took out a penny. Just keep recompounding every day, and so I've got a little bit in the EMP ETH farms, and it seems to me that it would be a good idea to put that to sell, not sell. I'm not sure how you do it actually. I guess you would break up the EMP. This is my thought. Break up the EMP ETH LP, save the EMP, do not sell it, but sell the ETH and create some eShare BNB LPs to put in the Reactor. And then take the EMP that I have and put it into nodes because of exactly what you said. You made it a little more clear. I know Joe was talking about you saying that the future of EMP, it was going to become, there would be additional ways for it to create value. And the staking you're talking about, maybe what he was referring to. Even if I get a small node, or, not the nano, but the next one up, and create some LPs, and put it in, that seems to me like it's going to put me, for that little bit of money, it's going to put me in a better position. I'm going to be creating the maximum amount of EMPs that I can, and I'm going to be creating a bunch of new eShare BNB in the Reactor, and I'm going to get tickets every day to be able to potentially win the lottery in Reactor. So it seems like from moving from eShare or the EMP ETH farms to this two different places to put the money, then I'm going to put myself in a better position.
So yeah, Don, that again, there's a lot to unpack here, and there's a lot of ways to play the game, so to speak. What you said, fundamentally, what you said, makes sense. However, I would be really careful breaking all of the LP into farms, because we also don't want to get into a situation where we lose that deep liquidity that's
Right.
been helping us stabilize. Now there is the other side of the coin, is that the lower the liquidity, the easier we are able to recover PEG. But you also then lose out on the impermanent gain. Everybody talks about an impermanent loss, but if you're breaking the LP, then you don't get that 10 or 15% increase in LP when we do recover PEG. So I think what you said, a mix of that strategy could be really beneficial. I wouldn't, again, liquidate all your LP. And again, if you are going to do that, obviously don't sell the EMP side. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
a mix of what you said could definitely be, beneficial. Again, I mean, it's also going to depend on the amount of volume going from one to another, because yeah, is it going to be beneficial to get into Reactor early? Yes, it will. However, if everybody piles in to Reactor, that could dilute the farm rewards, and therefore dilute the rehypothecation, and now the EMP ETH LP farm and Detonator become a better APR than Reactor. So it really, again, the system it's beautiful in that way, meaning, every action has an opposite reaction. And
Right.
that's why we just want to preach, no matter what, is that you're diversified, into every part of the platform. And then once you have your positions built, then you can start, allocating more towards whatever APRs are best.
I got you. Yeah, I guess because I don't have very many, I've got I got like 14 LPs in the EMP farm.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a lot, but apparently, if everybody took all theirs out, then it would create that
Yep.
those changes that you're
Totally.
talking about.
Well,
So,
and I mentioned it yesterday. I don't know if you remember, but the beautiful part about this too is that, worst case scenario, everybody broke their LP and kept the E side and didn't sell EMP, but now had all the ETH to do whatever they wanted with. Even in a worst case scenario where that would happen, which again I don't think it's gonna happen, but there's two benefits to that. One, anybody that's still in the EMP ETH LP farm is going to be absolutely killing it because there's basically zero dilution. You're getting all the eShare rewards. And number two, Detonator. Detonator is our insurance policy because, right now, almost half of our entire LP is locked up in Detonator, and that LP cannot be broken. So we still have massive liquidity. Even if the farm completely dried up, we would have 7 times the amount of liquidity from Detonator alone that most other seigniorage protocols have. So again, it's just another reason why Detonator is so powerful, and we're trying to apply that to eShare BNB. So.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I've got I've got plenty in Detonator. I've got like 15 times more in Detonator than I do in that small amount in the EMP ETH farm.
For sure.
So okay, well this is good. I'll sit with it because it looks like we got till Friday or Saturday, and
yep.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with BNB. I like BNB. I think it's when I watch the price, it seems like it's pretty stable, and it's got a big volume, in terms of.
Yeah, no,
what is the number?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we're all ETH maxis here, but if there is a number 2 blue chip that has a lot of upside potential, more so than Bitcoin, and meaning the amount it could potentially appreciate. And really, BNB has been outperforming a ton of other top 10 cryptos. So yeah, I mean, again, that's another fringe benefit of having exposure to blue chip assets through our protocol. So.
Yeah, and we're built on the the Binance Smart Chain, so it's we really are betting on the Binance system. So
Absolutely.
As well as ETH. So.
Yep.
Well,
Totally.
thanks very much. I'm excited for the launch. I just don't have any dry powder. I'd definitely be putting it in. So
yeah,
I'm just looking for ways I can diversify into. I just like the idea. I'm greedy, I guess. I like the idea of the lottery. So
yeah. Well, hey, I mean that is we are playing on the element of even greed, but that the number one way to build your position in Detonator or Reactor will be to win that lottery. So yes, I mean, in the beginning, especially in Reactor, there's a lot.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you have a lot.
Chances will be much higher.
Yes, brother.
Yeah.
Now you're talking, Don. Again,
you just
yeah.
Just put the icing on the cake for me. Okay.
Let me point out one thing with that too is
Sure.
If you are a lottery winner, you're actually reducing your ROI in half. Your APR is actually double what it would be reflective on your screen, because you're getting that BOGO, as Joe likes to point out.
Totally, Bull. Yeah, and that's true.
Buy one, get one.
Totally, and that's a really good point. I don't want to get too far off subject real fast. But, you know, even at, you know, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6 daily in Detonator right now, you know, volume over the last few days, the market has just been really weird, and people are a little scared about ETH and the merge. So we've seen the volume die off on Detonator, but even as it is, I mean, we're only seeing about a 1% drop, which is nothing. But my point is, if you're able to earn your EMP and use that to get into Detonator, or again, like Bull just said, win the lottery, or even utilize that win it now, with that BOGO mentality, you are essentially doubling your APR. So, you know, you're still at almost 1% a day, if not more, in Detonator if you're playing it right. So again, I think that's something that people kind of lose sight of, and so again, that was just something I wanted to bring up. But yeah, all right,
that's great. Thank you very much, guys.
All right,
keep up the good work.
Thanks, Don. Yes, brother, appreciate you being here. One of our OG members, been here for a long time supporting us, and we appreciate it. So all right, Bull, can you run through some of the questions on YouTube before we get too far in the weeds? Oh, Bull, are you there? Did we lose him?
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Sorry. Ooh, sorry, guys.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah,
brother.
I was saying. Yeah. I always want to try to be conscientious of swearing, especially.
Yeah, now that we're monetized, again, we can't be using the MF bombs anymore. Yeah. So right. Yeah, go ahead, Bull.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Kirk did have his hand raised, and I can gather up some questions if that's acceptable.
All right, yeah, Kirk, are you there?
Yes.
All right, there he is. Awesome. So yeah, go ahead, brother. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to chime in, listening to everybody talk about this, and of course we had an Army meeting about it yesterday. It's a lot to take in, and you know, like we said, AJ held it close to the vest. Even most of us in the Army didn't know about this until yesterday either. So I think that, you know, we're all sort of trying to figure out how it's going to work and what's going on. And I think that one of the opportunities that I see is, you know, we've got, I'm looking right now, we've got almost 8,000 eShare sitting in the boardroom. And, you know, I don't know, over time, I remember when I first got started in the protocol and was looking around, and I used to be kind of a boardroom maxi. I kind of felt like that was like the holy grail of EMP. And you know, as I've maybe matured a little bit, maybe over the course of being involved with this, you know, Joe calls it the dessert, and I think that's right. And, you know, so what I really dig, even though there's a little bit of uncertainty, obviously, about how this is all going to shake out, but what I do dig about it is, you know, the fact that I have another option with eShare, even though I'm still regaining eShare from selling it all, I do have some. And, you know, so the idea of being able to say, well, you know, not that I'm an anti-boardroom, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, at least this maybe gives me the ability to strategize, and maybe I want to take some of my eShare out of the boardroom and, you know, go ahead and lock it up in a Detonator style contract where I'm going to be earning more eShare by doing that, right?
Yes.
And you know, and maybe I'm a committed 7.0 in Detonator, but maybe I'll go 6.1 in Reactor. And, you know, bring myself home some eShare that I can put back into the boardroom and take that BNB for profit or do something else with it. And I've been so excited. I'm excited about the BNB part because I was a BNB maxi before I was an Ethereum guy. And that's still my home token, if you will. So I think that, you know, anyway, I guess what I'm saying is, you know, we all need to, you know, look at this, and, you know, I think that maybe, you know, it's going to be a new thing. And the other thing I was thinking is it's just like Impulse is going to be, you know, Impulse is probably going to be even more, you know, new to us because it's a whole new, you know, blockchain. But, you know, so it's always interesting to see this new stuff. And, you know, I just wanted to share the thing about, you know, hey, maybe look at if you've got holdings in the boardroom, you know, maybe you think about, hey, can I put those to work for me? In this new contract, knowing that you're locking it up and you can't move them back out right away into the boardroom once we get back over TWAP PEG, but still you'll be, even in the interim for however many long it's going to take from now to where we're back above PEG and printing again, you'll be earning eShare that entire time, along with BNB. So I think that's important to think about.
Absolutely, man. No, I'm so glad you brought this up because it was something that we talked about in the Army last night, and I wanted to make sure we mentioned it today. The idea, and this is a fundamental. I do a ton of research every day on every seigniorage protocol in existence, and there is this new mentality that I'd like to think that we helped spearhead through our education. And again, that's not me taking credit by any means, but it's this new wave and this new mentality that, PEG is not the end all be all. And so, with our contracts and our ecosystem, it's even more apparent than a lot of the other more traditional seigniorage protocols that don't have Detonator, because, then yes, it really is revolved around PEG. But here we are creating something different, and it's something that we say, we're not a fork, we're the entire dinner plate, and we're really creating our own economy, that isn't reliant on totally the seigniorage model, and the fact that is PEG important? Yes. And again, I mean, I don't want this to talk out of both sides of my mouth, but when you have the mindset that PEG is not the end all be all, and as long as you're allocated in the farms or in Detonator or any this new reactor, the earning potential is huge. Even outside of PEG, and even some major influencers, I'll call him out. I love him, James Pelton. He's done some recent coverage, and the influencers say, well, EMP is not earning as good because we're not at PEG. Well, that is not the case, really. I mean, that is the way it looks on the surface. But really, when you do a deep dive into it, you're able to earn in the farms regardless of what PEG does. And that is kind of the mentality that we want to keep pushing as we move forward. And Bull, I know you gave me a statistic today that blew my mind a little bit, and I want to do a whole write up on it because I want to make sure it's legit, which I think it is. But what you want to say what it was about how I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
All right,
So somebody had said that the dollar for dollar, had you been in the boardroom versus the eShare BNB, they would have produced an equivalent amount in dollars over the life of the protocol here. However, if we just say hypothetically dollar for dollar, that person would have earned $1,000 in EMP or $1,000 in eShares, being that they would be in the eShare BNB farm versus the boardroom printing EMP. The difference in the effect on the system in what is done with that end product, right? Like if somebody that was in the boardroom sold $1,000 worth of EMP, that would be $1,000 of negative sell pressure against the PEG. Now, being in the eShare BNB farm, that person would have been earning every single day versus the person that would have been in the boardroom and maybe been subject to that up and down emotion and watching their eShare value go up and down and then going from earning daily when the boardroom's printing to when it's off, versus that person in the farm who has just been consistently earning. And where we have really been talking about this topic a lot in the last couple of weeks is the ability to be in that farm and be consistent and have that consistent stream of revenue daily in the farm. It's a really good feeling because you can plan your portfolio around it. But maybe something that's even more important and maybe understated is that the effect that it has on you emotionally, the ability to just know that, okay, regardless of what PEG is doing, I'm going to be able to earn. And I know that has been preached, from day one here, this idea that, being in the farm and making sure that you're earning, and where AJ is just talking about, this idea of, it not being reliant on PEG. PEG is important. Sure it is. But more importantly than that is that you're earning every day and growing, your LP, because we are all here, right, to stack LPs and earn, in that exposure to ETH, and with exposure, to 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘀 now, with Reactor. But the point being here is that that ability to earn regardless of PEG being above PEG or below PEG is a really powerful tool when used properly, because I think it's something that can really be used to balance out your emotions and make sure that you're really planning for the future, because you have that really kind of that dollar value right in front of you, what you're going to earn every day, instead of that boardroom where it's it's at 0 miles per hour, or it's at 150 miles an hour. And that's just sort of maybe a reckless approach, and just might really ruin you emotionally. So I would encourage everybody to explore that option with the farm, and especially with the synergy that's going to be created with the Reactor, the ability to earn on that right hand side of the ecosystem, but just to really have balance throughout the system, I think is going to be a really powerful tool moving forward for everybody.
Totally, Bull. And yeah, one more thing too, while I'm thinking about it, in regards to moving allocations around, and Kirk touched on it a little bit earlier, about how there's all this 𝘰𝘰𝘪 in the boardroom. That's dead capital in the boardroom, and we're not above PEG. That is doing nothing. And I can tell you, again, this is some OG crypto advice and knowledge, not financial advice, but the number one way to lose is to have inefficiencies in your capital. So right now, again, there's like, $2 or $3 million of 𝘰𝘰𝘪 value doing nothing. And if you're not putting that capital to work, then you're losing. And so, if anything, we could maybe see some people selling 𝘰𝘰𝘪 to then pair up with BNB, and create LPs that way. That is much healthier than selling EMP for BNB or more 𝘰𝘰𝘪. And so, and that gives all of you listening an arbitrage opportunity, because as we get closer, we may see people start doing that, and it could be an amazing opportunity to pick up more 𝘰𝘰𝘪 at a cheaper rate when we do see that volatility, leading up to launch. So again, it's going to be a very interesting week ahead. Don't ever go all in to anything. If I'm able to give any kind of financial advice, I feel like that is the most advice I can give. You never want to go all in, no matter what it is. So just be prepared. I'd love to see more strategy discussions in the chat, on our Telegram and our Discord. I'm going to be around a lot more talking strategy as we lead up, because this is the fun part. This is where we always have to figure out how we're going to maximize our returns. So, all right, Bull, can we do, I know we're running out of time here, but there's a few really good questions.
Yeah.
So just do a rapid fire on YouTube. I'll go fast.
Okay. I'm going to read from the bottom up.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
so this is from Javier Flores. AJ has mentioned extending 𝘰𝘰𝘪 emissions. As far as I understand, this is only possible with the introduction of a new token. Some clarification here from AJ would be great.
Yes, Javier, awesome, brother. A guy that knows what he's saying. So yes, we have already publicly announced that we will be extending 𝘰𝘰𝘪 emissions. It will be in a decaying model, just like Bitcoin, where next year we'll have another 100% round of emissions, and then every subsequent year the 𝘰𝘰𝘪 emissions will reduce by half. So with this decaying model, the total max supply of eShares will be growing. But even at the end of a 10-year cycle, there's still much less than 75,000 total share tokens in existence, and most seigniorage protocols start off with 75 to 100,000 share tokens. So we still have a lot less circulating supply, and then logistically, this will play into what we're calling boardroom version 3, where we will have a migration where we're going to probably reduce some of the inflation in the boardroom. This will be an all new eShare token, again, that has the emissions updated. And if you're in Reactor, it should be as simple as us just doing a migration. For those of you that were just around a few weeks ago, when we migrated the Detonator LP, because we made updates to that contract, it was like 1 hour of downtime. Our developer Jake is an absolute wizard. I mean, no other protocol has ever been able to migrate an entire contract in about an hour. So he killed it on that, and that is as simple as it would be. So yeah, hopefully that answers.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just want to put. Connie Lynn said, I think of this ecosystem as a mall with many ATMs, some on the lower level, some on the upper level, and always in the food court.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, here. Florida Joe. You said that the ticket price will be the same dollar. You can start this way, but since the ticket is equal to 0.15 LP, I expect the LP to move differently and the dollar value to amount accordingly.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yep.
it will be on a sliding scale. Again, it'll be based on dollar value to begin with. We're trying to keep it similar to what Detonator is, because we want to incentivize tickets, but we don't want to make tickets too cheap where it reduces everybody's chances. So it will be a sliding scale, and that also applies for the win it now button. So again, 2% of the pool will be a lot less in the beginning because the pool balance will be very new. So that will also scale up, and most likely we will not even have a win it now on the very first day because we have to have the initial pool balance set anyway. So, but I envision the win it now getting claimed at least for the first month because the incentive will be too good not to. So yeah, and
that's pun intended. Too good.
Too good. Yes, exactly. Too good. Yes, and that's the thing. I mean, imagine this. Now we're gonna have Detonator. We're gonna have Reactor. We have 2 or 3 partner Detonator contracts lined up. I mean, imagine being able to have win 3 or 4 lotteries a day. And again, I mean, the Detonator style contract is so attractive that we could see 10s and 20 and 30 detonators eventually, as we roll out the software as a service. So.
Okay. One more question before the Detonator here, AJ, maybe?
All right. Yep. No worries, Bull.
Modern living. Sounds like it's getting a little bit complicated. Will there be a visual flowchart for best practices?
Yeah, so we will. I mean, Kirk is working on the Academy now. We have the tentative rollout date of September 2nd. All of these new additions will be added to the Academy later. And yeah, I know when we talk about it on an AMA, it does come across as very complicated. But if you're already in Detonator, you basically know how to play the game. You know all the rules. You know how to utilize. The only thing left now is again how to best maximize your profits through what our infinite money loops are. So yeah, I think that once it's actually working in practice, it will be a lot easier to wrap your head around. So don't get too overwhelmed, but we'll absolutely have white papers and flowcharts and videos, whatever we need to do to help.
Oh yeah. So quick question for everybody. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Is everybody excited about Reactor?
I love it. Let's go. Yes, put it in the chat. On the YouTube chat. There it is. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Lots of ones. I love it. All
Oh
right.
man, that's a shit ton of ones.
Yeah,
Oops.
man. All right. I'm going to pull up my screen as we get ready here. Record numbers again on the record numbers on Telegram and on YouTube. Again, thank you all for the support. If you are listening on Telegram, make sure you jump over to YouTube and give us a like, comment, and subscribe to help with our algorithm. So, all right, Bull, let me pull up my desktop while we jump in here. And, oh, man, we're going to run out of time. Cutting it close.
Yeah. Yep.
Almost. Give me one more minute.
Okay, no worries. Nobody wants to see that $0 wallet I had when me and Joe were going on the AMAs. So they like to see that big team wallet.
Yep, totally. So there it is, and you're going to see me compound live with it. I forgot to compound today, so there's a lot of rewards going back into the pool today with 3 minutes left. So yes, we are here. This is Detonator. Our daily ROI contract has been an absolute beast for us. Those of you that don't know what Detonator is, it's a daily ROI contract where you're able to get up to 365% of your initial deposit. However, if you're compounding more than claiming, you never hit that maximum ROI. And this is super beneficial for the overall contract because it locks up EMP ETH LP. Right now we have about $5.5 million in the balance. And as a reward for you locking up those funds, you're able to again earn through daily interest on that day after day after day. So really, again, it's been super powerful. One of the most incredible ROI contracts ever created. It's been about 2 years in the making. It includes things from about 10 other contracts as well as our own custom algorithms that really have proven to be insanely sustainable. And Detonator has continued to grow or maintain since its inception. And we're going on about 7 months. So really exciting stuff. Bull, real fast, we have 1 minute here. You want to talk about the lotteries? Go ahead, man.
Yes, I do, but I just wanted to talk about Detonator. Just found out that it had a sibling, so I'm super excited for that and to see the family come together and see really what finding out that long lost sibling does for the ecosystem here. So yeah, the lottery. Lots of ways to win here in Detonator. As AJ said, 365 ROI contract, 365% ROI contract, supplied with EMP ETH LP. That's how you get tickets in here. Right now, there's like 8,000 tickets. That ticket gives you a chance at winning anywhere from like 300 LP to more. There's a win it now button that's 2% of the pool balance. You put in 2%, you get back 2%, gets deposited in your account, so you can't dump it on everybody. Super sustainable. If the win it now button isn't for you and you like to be a cumulative auction type of guy, you can be the largest depositor up to 3%, which will be matched to 3%, and everybody in the contract will love you. There will be multiple lottery winners, and everyone will rejoice because their daily burst will go up, and everybody except for me will say, why is my daily burst going up? I'm so happy.
Yeah, for sure, Bull. And again, we have seen daily burst, plateau out a little bit, and that's just because of daily volume being down. We can easily see that skyrocket again, especially through rehypothecation, which we didn't even talk about, but will ultimately help. So, all right, we have about 30 seconds left. Make sure you're not like me and forgetting a compound. Compounding last minute here, get credit for all those tickets. Should be a massive amount of rewards rolling over here in the last few seconds. We have a little baby snipe coming in, 64 LP. We'll see if that takes it home. Some of these snipes have been really good lately, and people are getting away with murder on these low snipes. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Speaking of amazing snipes, maybe 64 will take it.
Oh my gosh.
We got a 620. I don't know if it made it, and a 100.
All right, there it is. Again, I knew those sneaky snipes would not last forever. Let me go ahead and pull up.
620 made it, Joe.
All right, you can see here.
Yeah, nice.
On the
So
view.
620, 100, the 64, and 61.
There
And
you
a bunch
go.
of other ones.
Amazing. So, and with that, did we hit 2 lottery winners or just under 2 lottery winners with that large snipe? I gotta look at that.
Oh, that should be 2.
Yep, it's still updating. The contract's still updating. But yeah, so there you have it. There was a massive snipe at the end. Again, those that are going for the larger snipes, they're still rewarded with a 1% match. So again,
Yeah, the fact that we were over 600, we have we'll have 2 winners on the lotto.
Yep, there it is. You're right. Yep, Joe, they're confirming now. So yes, we have 2 winners. Again, the amount of LP that is sniped will determine how many lottery winners we have. So thank you, Mr. Whale, for that last minute large snipe. You allowed us to give away 2 lottery prizes today. And again, that's why we always say, Detonator really is, made for all investors. It's not a whales game. Whales are compensated for larger snipes or to win it now. But when that happens, it also rewards all of us that are already in the contract. So it really is a beautiful synergy. Again, another awesome day. Pool balance recovered substantially. Again, almost at 115,000 LP. Again, we've been hanging out around about 113,000 LP up to about 117,000 LP over the last few days. And again, I mean, nothing in crypto goes up forever. But even if we're able to maintain, the pool balance, which I absolutely believe Detonator could get to, 500,000 LP over the next few years. But even if we're able to maintain, around this 100,000 level, that is ROI for everybody involved, day after day after day. So again, I could not be more excited for Detonator, the health of the contract, the health of the ecosystem, and again, the potential earning with exposure to ETH is just industry leading and unparalleled. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my desktop, and then
Florida Joe had his hand raised.
All right, go ahead, Florida Joe.
Can you hear me?
How are you? Go ahead, my friend.
Good. How are you?
Great.
Well, I just want to let you know that I won again the lottery tonight.
All
It's the second
right.
time.
Now we're talking, brother. Congrats. So, are you? Yeah, that's the second win for you, correct?
Right. So
All right.
it took me 2.5 months to win the first time, and now I won again.
Yeah,
after
then 2 weeks. Right, 2 weeks for the second. Well, I bet you've been compounding your.
What
butt
about
off.
this dinner? Wasn't there some dinner promised?
Now it's dinner and breakfast.
Yeah. Now dinner and breakfast.
It's building up, and I told you guys, we need to do something in South Florida. Since AJ and I living here, I'm sure you guys can come down here. You know, I have a boat. We can go out. We can do outing. We can do things.
Yes, brother.
So anytime.
We'll do it, man. I know we are planning on an in-person meetup. I know, you know, South Florida is definitely on the top of that list. We'll have to do it during the winter when all of you are you know, 4 feet under snow. We can party here in South Florida with the amazing weather. So yeah, that is on the agenda for sure, Florida Joe. And congrats, my friend. So I'm assuming you've been compounding, you know, to be able to get those tickets, right?
Yeah, every day, every night compounding.
Yep.
That's no, every night I compounding, and you know, I really building my account, you know, and looking forward. Meaning, one day I'll have to take profit, but so far I'm just building it up.
Yep, 100%. Well, we're all here to make money, and that is the beauty of, you know, these ROI contracts is, you know, you can absolutely turn them into a paycheck. You know, nobody is here to just compound, you know, into oblivion, but smart money understands that you absolutely should be prioritizing compounding in the beginning, not only for the chance to win the lottery, like we just heard from Florida Joe, but also you're able to ROI faster by building up that compound interest on your reward. So again, and that's another thing we see in a lot of people claiming from Detonator because of ETH and the uncertainty of the merge. You know, once people start compounding again, you know, that pool balance could absolutely explode. So I'm very, very optimistic. You know, Detonator is just that the design is just so superior to literally every other style contract that has been before it. So all right, cool. Well, thanks, Florida Joe. Congrats again.
Florida Joe, are you happy with the upgrades?
I'm more than happy, first of all, and especially with the Reactor coming on Friday or Saturday. I already prepared some LP for it, you know, and it's all fresh money. I didn't sell any EMP or anything else. I had some E-shares that used to be on the boardroom. I took them, I put BNB with them, and I'm ready for the new adventure.
I love it, brother. He's prepared. There you go, everybody. Take a note from Florida Joe, man. He is wasting no time. And again, I mean, those of you that understand the power of this ecosystem and know, you know, what's happening, you get it immediately. And so that's really what we're doing. And if you're not there, don't feel bad. You know, if you're still confused, you know, we're here to help you as much as we possibly can. Just understand that, you know, this is one of the, you know, industry leading protocols in terms of passive income. And we're going to continue to deliver on that. I did see one question real fast, Bull, about the AMAs. So yeah, the tentative plan is that Reactor will be 1 hour prior to Detonator. So we will open the AMA with the Reactor rollover. We'll do 1 hour AMA like usual, and then we will end on the Detonator rollover. So we will not have to do, you know, 10 different AMAs every single day. It's an hour earlier for those of our European brethren and sisters. They'll have a little bit of a reprieve with an hour earlier. And so, yeah, that is the tentative plan as well. So you get double the pleasure, double the fun with 2 contracts now. So, all right, Bull, any other last minute loose ends we want to go over before we wrap it up?
I see an influencer hanging around here. Where did he go? Hey, Crypto Mike, are you there?
Oh, we're putting him on the spot. There he is.
Guys, what's up? How you guys doing?
Mike, what's up, brother? How are you?
What's up, guys? Yeah, doing good, man. Just caught the tail end here of the rollover, and as usual, it's on fire. It's one of my favorite projects is the Detonator, and you guys are just amazing and spreading the word. Today I was on James Pelton with Jonathan and talked about EMP. I had to throw it in there, you know. Anything.
Yes, brother.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, it's just so powerful. And I don't think even the influencers that, even James, like I love James, but I don't think he even understands the power of the detonator and what it does to the entire ecosystem. But it's all good. It's all love. And in the future here, when V2 rolls out, I think time will tell, man. And I think I'll be riding on the side of this being one of the most powerful ecosystems in crypto. And it already is, but I see it being even bigger. So super pumped, man. How you guys doing?
Good, brother. 100%. Yeah, man. I know both of us have been super busy working on stuff. I know Goldbridge has been killing it. Thanks for the shout out today. I was watching the video right before we jumped on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we have a follow up with James. He's been so booked with his AMAs, but we actually have a Twitter space AMA with him scheduled for the end of the month, and we will be talking specifically about Detonator version 2 and now Reactor as well. So yeah, it's only a matter of time before these larger influencers, I hate to even call them that, but they really understand the power of what we're building. And again, I mean, when we have Detonator as a service and other protocols are implementing our contract, it's going to be impossible to ignore. So
yeah, there's not really any other project out there providing a service because their contract is that good.
Totally.
What I mean? Like that just I don't even know of one. So awesome, man. Just hanging out. Thanks for shouting me out, Bull. Put me on the spot, but yeah, man. Hope you guys are doing well. And
I apologize. I saw
You're good.
I saw your little logo floating through space there, so I thought, oh, I'm gonna try that superpower of putting people on the spot.
There you go. There you go. I still have to get with you as well about.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm super psyched for that. Every opportunity that is presented to you in crypto, you have to, really, how should I say, you really need to look at it. And I appreciate any opportunity. Like, for those that don't know, Mike has offered me a VIP membership to come into Goldbridge. And I'm very appreciative of that because I never expect people to do things. And Mike, for people that don't know, super nice guy, super genuine, really goes out of his way to help people. So show Mike some love because it's hard for people like when if you're not on the AMAs, a lot of people think, these guys are just gone, they're not doing anything. But shout out to the people that work in the back of the store, so to speak. Because it's really important and they're never forgotten. And so thanks a lot, Mike. I just wanted to, I know I probably didn't say thank you like when you were on with Jonathan like last week.
It's not a big deal, bro. Yeah. There's something I took from AJ when we first launched this and we were doing AJ, you remember we were in Telegram channels, what do you call them? Just like those channels that have 40,000, 50,000, 80,000 members.
Yeah, man. Totally.
And I remember doing a slew of those day after day with you guys, the whole team. And one of the things that AJ would repeat, and it's a genuine statement, kind of just, it kind of encapsulated like why I do crypto and why I do YouTube even, and all this stuff is really just like he would say, I could have chosen any project to launch, but I chose to do an algo project. And at that time we had the detonator in mind, but we weren't thinking about launching it that day, right? We were working on it in the future.
Totally.
And he would say, I've had multiple businesses outside of crypto, and when you have those businesses, you're running them, and your family wants to hang out, friends want to hang out, and you're busy. You can't really you come up, and then you can't really do anything for your friends. It's like you can't everyone can't ride with you if you get what I'm saying. It says, you can argue and say, well, Elon Musk probably has all his friends, right? Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like the majority of people with businesses, small businesses, they don't have time for friends and family, and it's hard to come up. But with crypto, and then specifically this project, it was like he'd say, I got on this project so I could bring everybody with me because we all win. and it just kind of like, I don't know, it stuck with me. So I really genuinely believe that, and it's not even a belief, just look around. Everybody's winning. You're all printing. Whether we're above peg or below peg, everybody's printing. And the detonator is really one of those projects that it doesn't really need anything, right? It just kind of stands alone. So, you know, I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't know if I.
Yeah, no, I love it, Mike. Absolutely,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good time,
again,
man.
I don't know how much more simple, you know, it can be stated, and it's true. And I think a lot of us lose sight of that. You know, we're in these other protocols, you know, and I'm not going to mention names, but you know, you're lucky if the price of the token, you know, doesn't just dilute into oblivion. Here at EMP, you know, yeah, you have that volatility of ETH going up and down, but every single day, you know, you are printing e-shares, or again, interest in Detonator. So, you know, that on its own is a rarity. You know, and to have the massive liquidity, the amazing team, above all, the amazing community, like you said, where we can bring everybody with us. It's not
Right.
about dumping on each other's heads. You know, I mean, there's just
Exactly.
not a better feeling. And I'm happy to be a part of a protocol, you know, that can make that happen, you know. And again, I mean, we still need the community to support us and rally behind it, because we can build the best economy in the world. But if nobody's using it, then you know that's a potential issue. But we're not seeing that. I mean, we're seeing day after day more people involved. You know, the TVL is recovering. The detonator balance is healthy. So yeah, we're doing really good, man. I think once we get past, you know, the uncertainty of the ETH merge, we could see, you know, amazing results.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Oh
bro.
yeah.
Totally.
I mean, I got a short term and a long term. My short term is a very sticky situation because I don't want to be a bear in a room that, yeah, I don't want to be a bear, right? But
Totally.
I have to be honest and look at where we're at on the charts. I'm a charts guy, so the short term, you know, could be volatile for ETH, but you zoom out and look at any sort of mid to long term, and you're looking at just crazy numbers. I mean, ETH could go to 10,000 easily in the next cycle, easily. I mean, that's like, I think it's going to go beyond that actually, but I think ETH could be, you know, maybe I sound stupid saying this. I think the market cap for ETH could surpass Bitcoin.
Yeah, bro. Absolutely.
In the long term, it's got more use. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Bitcoin just it's becoming more of a dinosaur. It'll never not be, you know, digital gold. But the fact is, you can't do it. You know, there's not much you can do with it. It's not as, you know, as safe. And you're looking at Ethereum being able to add so many features, and with smart contracts, obviously, and then the merge to proof of stake and everything. I don't know. I just feel like it's got a really bright future. So, hey, we'll see. But yeah, man, that's the way I live my life. Is I do this so that everybody can win. That's why I do YouTube. That's why I did Gold Bridge. And yeah, so that's it.
Awesome, brother. Well, great to hear from you as usual. Again, Crypto Mike, much love, brother. Always happy to have you, and we'll look forward to seeing you with some cameos on the new academy. So I know Kirk has been really diving into that, and we'll see you on some of those videos next month.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely. Do anything I can to help it out. The first academy went really well, nice and smooth, and so the second one, there's a lot of new stuff to cover. I see that. So yeah.
Yep, 100%, bro. All right, man. Thanks, Mike. Good to hear from you, bro. Take it easy.
Yeah, man.
Yep,
For sure.
I'll see you in the team chats. So, all
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yeah, all right, brother.
Bye-bye.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks, guys and gals. We're going to wrap it up on that note. Bull, any last words? I know every time I say that, I feel like we're headed to the gallows. But yeah, go ahead, Bull. Yeah.
No, you know, everything is up and to the right here, and like you said, it is a wave, right? But as we look at the chart, we know everybody here, even if you don't know it, you're an ETH maxi. If you're in DeFi, you are absolutely an ETH maxi, and you look at that chart, and it really is, it's up and to the right. But the more important thing is when you zoom in at that chart and you see that the peaks and the valleys, and a lot of people get wrecked in those valleys, but it's the people who keep pushing through, the people who have made crypto friends, the people who have become educated. You fill in those valleys with hard work and sort of sacrifice, right? And nothing in crypto is easy. Don't let people fool you and tell you that you're going to become a millionaire overnight, and that you can invest $100 and walk away with $1 million tomorrow. That type of attitude is actually contributes to something really bad in this space, because for something like that to happen, thousands of people have to lose that $100 so that one person gains that $1 million. And yeah, we're all here to make money, and that's a good thing, because that is going to be a vehicle to change our life. But the money shouldn't be the only thing. We should be here to build knowledge, to build friends, to build relationships, to build things. That's what fills in those valleys when we look at the charts. That's what pushes peaks up is enthusiasm for people that are here, that they know the sacrifice and the hard work is going to push them through the bear. And this is where wealth is created, because when you really want something and you sacrifice to learn, to earn, to gain, what you're doing here means a lot more. When you get to the end and you've achieved that goal, that all that work that you put in translates into just, it's more than just winning or buying a winning lottery ticket. And you're probably going to walk away from EMP, in the future, and you're going to have, made financial gains. You're going to have made knowledge gains, investing gains, like all kinds of gains here. But ultimately, it always comes down to you, how hard you want to work, how much you want to put into this. And that's not a call to tell you to throw all your money in this. It's a call to really invest in yourself, because that valley I keep talking about, it's filled with the people that get wrecked. But for you, if you want to succeed, it's filled in with hard work, having your hands in the dirt here in the farm, so to speak, farming and earning and learning. That's what fills in those valleys and will push you up into the right in this ecosystem and in crypto.
There you have it. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. And no truer words have been spoken. I know I can tell you from personal experience, trying to time the market, and like Bull said, catching those falling knives, at the bottom of those troughs, that is a one-way ticket to Wreckville. For me, again, I would rather hold, a project to zero, and a lot of people will tell you that is stupid, but that's how I built a multi-million-dollar portfolio. Without that pressure of swing trading, you're able to build positions, you're able to have your capital earn you more capital, again, make your crypto earn you more crypto. That is how the wealthiest people in the world get more wealthy, is because they have assets making them money 24/7. And so apply that to your crypto bags here at EMP. And again, not financial advice, but that is, again, with a long-term time horizon, that is almost a guaranteed way to win in crypto. So, all right, awesome. Again, shout out to all of you. Much love. More updates coming the rest of this week. Again, we will be launching a new Detonator style contract called Reactor. That will be in 𝘰𝘩𝘪𝘯𝘵 LP, and that will be going live hopefully Saturday. Again, we'll have plenty of info ahead of time for everybody to get ready. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. We get to see you all over again in 24 hours. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Get that engagement up, and watch some old videos as well. And we have an awesome new teaser video for Reactor as well. I didn't even mention that today. So there's some alpha for you that stuck around to the very end. So, all right, big things coming. Good night. Good day. We'll see you tomorrow.